Starting with Fognini, over 11 hours on court in the last match. Paolo Lorenzo. Who can play singles and doubles. Seppi, who's returned to some sort of form this year but hasn't played since Rotterdam in February. Simone Bolelli, who knows his way around the doubles court. Corrado Berazzuti. Italian captain. Referee for the weekend, Stefan Fransson. Two umpires, Mariana Velovic. The British umpire, James Kiyothamon.
Ed ora le squadre si scambiano I galli ardenti.
A lovely spring day here in Genoa. It'll be around about sort of 16, 17 degrees Celsius. We will welcome some nice weather, Armand.
Absolutely. We had a little bit of snow up here, north of Italy, in Genoa. And some snow down in Rome, which is a lot further south. Unusual weather conditions that we've had in Europe in whole, but I think everyone's ready for a little bit of sun, Barry.
A small, intimate stadium, 4,800 spectators. Surprised, actually, they didn't go for a bigger stadium.
Well, often the smaller kind of ties create the best atmosphere. You know, they get loud. Amphitheatre type style stadium they have here, which is really nice to see. It's nice to see Davis Cup match tie being held at a tennis club. I mean, you get so many purpose-built venues now that countries play at, but this is a normal tennis club throughout the course of the year. So real history here, and I'm sure a lot of club members here today, here this weekend, to support their nation on, which is good. And it's not too long a flight hop over for the French fans either.
And one of the heroes of Italian tennis, Nicola Pietrangeli, leading all-time Davis Cup play, holds the record for playing the most rubbers, 164, as the record for also the most wins in both singles and doubles, 78 singles victories, 42 doubles victories.
Absolutely incredible, and back in the days where Davis Cup was first on the list, of course, it took such pride in representing the countries, and made easier because the normal tour, not as long and grueling, not as many tournaments, so Davis Cup was front and centre. What a record that is, winning records in both, 78 winning singles matches and 42 doubles as well.
What about this first match, Arvind? Luca Pouille hasn't played since he lost the opening round in Indian Wells, decided to miss Miami because he wanted to concentrate on the Davis Cup. It's one of his goals for 2018.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. I think Pouille, having a look at his activity this year, I mean, I've covered a fair few of his matches, and it's been a case of kind of really all or nothing, really. He's a couple of finals, he's got a win in there as well, a couple of surprise first rounds, and you've got to add in a little bit of illness in there as well. Hasn't perhaps trained as hard as he would have liked, so I think he certainly would have signed for what he's been able to do at the start of the year. Has been very successful. Good to see Seppi playing well once again. He was really in danger of slipping away. The ranking was tumbling, but put together a really good Australia Rotterdam as well, so he's in decent form once again. Interestingly enough, he hasn't played since Rotterdam, so perhaps taking a little bit of time off, perhaps had a little bit of kind of injuries that he had to deal with, but it's going to be a good matchup, I think. Seppi, so good as far as consistency is concerned. Pui, all and out sort of attack type of player. He's going to have to find that balance, I think, on the clay. He's going to have to do a little bit of grinding from the back of the court, but also stick to his guns and look to come forward as well. So Seppi going to have to probably do a little bit of defending, soaking up a bit of the firepower from his opponent today, but more than capable of doing that. Such a good mover that Seppi is, that loves the clay courts. To Seppi, so consistent, trying to outlast Pui. Used the crowd, as you can hear the French getting revved up.
Seppi and Luca Pui, and there's the president of the French Tennis Federation, Bernard Guidicelli. Jean Gachissin, the inspirational former French tennis president, he served his time. It's difficult, isn't it, to when you're starting off your clay court season. Those first couple of matches are more difficult because you haven't played on this surface for a while. Who do you expect out of these two to feel more comfortable right from the word go?
Just due to the game style, I would probably say Seppi. Not 100% sure what he's been doing leading up to this event. I would have thought he would have tried to go on the clay nice and early, the fact that he hasn't played since Rotterdam, but also the same for Pui. You know, he chose to miss Miami because of Davis Cup, so you know that preparation for this tie was essential for him. That's why he missed Miami. So back in France, I'm sure he would have been on the clay courts, perhaps not outdoors because of the weather, but certainly indoors. Just due to his game style, you know, I guess it's just a little bit more erratic for Pui. It just takes him a little bit longer just to kind of really hone his skills in on the clay. He's going to look to still attack his Pui. I mean, Seppi, you know, he's a ball machine at times. You know, he doesn't miss too much, so I would probably suggest that Seppi, just early stages of the clay court season, he would probably find it a little easier to adjust.
Shot there of David Haggerty, the president of the ITF, because the news in the last couple of months about proposed new structure for Davis Cup. Of course, it has to be approved at the end of the year by the nations. Both Italy and France very much focused on trying to get the 3 rubbers required to get through to the semi-finals. Luca Pui broke into the world's top 10 middle of March. Actually dropped back to number 11, but what a huge achievement that was for Luca Pui, player that can play on all surfaces. This can Andreas Seppi, 34-year-old Italian, who's had his injury problems of his own, I guess. Someone like Murray can take comfort for the way Seppi's been able to come back after that hip problem that he had to play as well as he's done at the beginning of this year and moving well.
Yeah, absolutely, and movement is everything. Not 100% sure what the procedure was, but he had to take a little bit of time out. I don't think it was as major as Murray's surgery, but yeah, to do that mid-season and be back a little bit later on in the year, it's a good effort for Seppi. Everything for this guy, he's been so consistent, his lateral movement around the court, deceptively quick as well. One of the reasons, as you alluded to, why he's been around for so long is because he can also play, you know, on all surfaces. You know, the quicker surface is actually quite good for him. The ball just comes at a comfortable height for him, kind of around thigh height, hip height. His ball relatively flat, but he makes the adjustments on the clay as well. Can attack and made some good improvements over the years. Close match this year against Federer in Rotterdam, 7-6 the second set. Federer certainly not having it all his own way, so yeah, he's beaten the best. And you would imagine he's going to rise to the occasion. Seppi, even though his ranking currently outside the world's top 60, I do imagine from what we've seen this year so far, a few tournaments he's played, that he's going to be back up there soon, perhaps outside the world's top 30.
10 times these two nations have played each other. Here's confirmation of Luca Puig, world ranking 11. Made his debut a couple of years ago. Didn't play in the first round, but the hero last year for France in winning the Davis Cup. 10 times they've won the Davis Cup now, the French. The Italians last won this great competition. Only won this great competition in 1976.
Nel 2018 ha raggiunto gli ottavi agli Australian Open e le semifinali a Rotterdam.
Such an experienced Davis Cup player. Made his debut back in 2014. Actually, the Italians beat Georgia back in 2004. Excuse me. Seppi lost in 5 sets to Irakli Labati. Remember him? Talented left-hander.
Left-hander. Final of Indian Wells, I think, 1 year.
E parte dell'emozione è rappresentata dalla partecipazione del pubblico che tifa per la squadra di casa. Tuttavia, il rumore disturba enormemente
Serbian umpire.
entrambe le squadre. In Coppa Davis vige il Partisan Crowd Rule, che prevede che il rumore gratuito di distrazioni causate dal pubblico durante
3 titles that he's won.
durante il servizio
First on grass, Eastbourne 2011, and then a couple in 2012. Moscow indoor hard, Belgrade outdoor clay, so that confirmation that he's comfortable on all surfaces. And if the Italians can get something from this tie, well, that will set up what could be potentially a great weekend for them, with the French favourites for this first rubber. You would expect they'll have plenty of stamina for 3 days, the French crowd.
Yeah, got the early carbs on board, of course. That's fantastic.
And a few espressos, I would imagine.
Strong at that.
All ready to go. Luca Puig to kick off this Davis Cup quarter-final.